Good morning. Well, we living in Ontario have witnessed a curious shifting in the policies of the government, especially regarding hydro. Some of you must have been quite happy when Kathleen Wynne announced this Monday that she is going to remove PST portion of HST from the hydro bills. That means a saving of 8%, approximately $150 a year. But are they really a saving? In case you have seen the steady changes, abrupt changes, and one step forward, two steps backward, you would have noticed that despite all the efforts, the hydro cost in Ontario is increasing. And it's increasing because of ham-handed, haphazard, unplanned actions of the government. In 1992, a study was done by the general manager of Hydro One, and he had told that the cost of the hydro is going to increase 7.9% annually. Now that price was not going to be paid by anybody but by the users, directly or indirectly. Now this withdrawal of the PST, apparently very good, but ultimately who pays? This is a market economy, though the government has tried not to make it a market economy. The government's effort has always been to make it a controlled economy, and it reminds me of the socialistic pattern where the government keeps on interfering. As a matter of fact, the only business of the government is not to do business, and here government is doing business. Sometimes directly, sometimes openly, and sometimes indirectly. Do you know that as per the Ombudsman report, I was shocked that all of us, the Ontarians, paid $37 billion more between a period of 10 years, 2000 and 2010. In this period, the Ontarians paid $37 billion more than the market price of hydro. And this trend is going to continue, and by 2030, we would have paid $133 billion more than the market price. You must be wondering how and why. You see, government charges you in the name of renewable energy, in the name of energy that is environmentally friendly. But are you aware that the wind and the solar energy contribute only 4% of the total output of Ontario? Whatever has been withdrawn from coal has been compensated by gas and nuclear. And neither gas nor nuclear are renewable energies. We have seen the damages and the dangers of the nuclear energy, and that's why Switzerland, Germany, Japan and France have decided to close down steadily their nuclear plant and not to set up the new ones. Maybe the government in Ontario has a God-given capability beyond the capability of normal human beings to ensure that no accident takes place in this part of the world, especially when the forces of the nature are beyond the control of the political authorities sitting in the Queen's Park. Now, looking at a small percentage of 4% of the total output, when you have asked to compensate for the cost, that money goes out of your pocket. And the cost keeps on increasing every day, every time, whether you like it or you don't like it. This government is overcharging, as we have seen, and as per not a newspaper report, not as a news agency report, but as per the reports of the Ombudsman, that already we have paid $37 billion more than what we should have paid. And this increase, this heightened payment, which is an unwanted payment, which is a gratuitous payment, which is basically a looting of the people, would amount to $133 billion by the year 2030. Not far off. Now question comes, why is it that we are having this issue? There are two major issues. When the government reduces the prices, they indulge in the staggering of the per cost. What happens? The returns to the generators go less. So the cost per unit increases. Now this is quite a paradox. You reduce the cost, the price, and you increase the cost. After it's a demand and supply. So supply becomes more, but generation is not reduced. So generation continues to be there. And when generation continues to be there and you are using less, so the cost of that per unit would go up. So sooner or later, you are going to pay for that. Apparently, even this would have the same effect. You pay 8% less to begin with, and as accumulated losses, you would pay more. You know, in your bills there used to be a debt removal charge. What's that debt? The debt that the hydro had earned because of the subsidized or unnaturally reduced prices. Now, the question arises, can the cost not be reduced? It can be reduced. The point is, you need a consistency. And that consistency would ensure to the generator and to the user that given a certain usage and given a certain generation, neither the generator would suffer nor the user would suffer. Now again, look at the dilemma. We produce more than we can use, and production per unit keeps on increasing, and so does the cost. Here you know the cost per unit does not decrease with most production. So what do? You will laugh at it. You go to USA with a begging bowl and tell them to buy your extra energy. They refuse to buy it. You say, okay, take it free. They refuse to take it free. Then you start paying them. Are you amazed that here you are paying to use energy, to use hydro, and the same hydro is being given to USA not at a price but along with extra payment. They are being gratification. They are being offered the gratification for the honor of using your energy. Can anything be more stupid? Can anything be more foolhardy? My imagination staggers. How about you? Now imagine it. Your people are paying $37 billion, which will go to $133 billion till 2030, much more and much above the market price. Why not reduce the price? And why not encourage people to use more hydro? Automatically they'll use more hydro. You saw that decision by Kathleen Wynne, the proposal, the decision is yet to become a decision, and it would come in a couple of months. Now what's going to happen is, they are reducing the cost indirectly by taking away the PST portion of the tax, 8%, which will come to $150 approximately per average household. But who would gain? It's not an average person. The most gain would be the people living in mega mansions who use more electricity, because their tax portion is more. Secondly, when this becomes less, the returns, the government is going to get it compensated from somewhere else, so they'll increase the tax somewhere else. And another proposal which is coming up shortly would be that the gas should not be used. You have maybe appliances, gas oven and gas dishwasher, and so that may be a thing of the past. And you may be ordered to use only hydro-based kitchen appliances, not gas-based. You may be asked that your heating be hydro-based, not gas-based. And if that happens, imagine how much you would be using and how much you would be paying. So you save on one side and you pay on the other side, and not pay proportionately the same, but proportionately much higher than you would have paid. So this is a classic game of heads you win, heads you lose, tails they win. What a curious thing. And at the top of that, now if the government does only one thing, okay, we'll reduce the cost. Let the people use it. They don't have to give it to USA and pay them for that. At least if they reduce the cost and they maintain even the same revenue, at least the people would be getting something. People would not be cheated out of their pockets. People would not be forced to cut their corners. But now, they'll take the money from the people, and then the same money will be transferred to USA with the request to use Ontario Hydro. This is the dilemma. We are in a catch-22 situation. We cannot help but use hydro. It's a must. And at the same time, we cannot afford to be absolutely financially raped. And that's what's happening. I don't say that the government has bad intentions. Maybe it has the best intentions. But the way to the hell is paved with the good intentions. As I said earlier, they are not pragmatic. Their policies are harebrained and they are not planned. They do not undertake a real study. It's like somebody has got a gangrene and he starts using Band-Aid. Now, Band-Aid is okay for scratch, but not for a gangrene boil. No way. It will spread it. It's cancer. So, if you want to use Band-Aid, you have to be prepared for amputation at a later stage. Now, the situation being this, what do? You are happy that Kathleen is giving you, but it's too little, too late, and it's fraught with danger. Danger of your paying it indirectly much more. And that payment can be extremely high. You might have to pay through your nose. You might have to pay something which you should not be paying. What is required is a proper study of the market, proper mix of the generation, and ensure that the people get optimum returns. Any people, any society needs certain essentials, and hydro is an essential in this part of the world. You cannot exist without proper supply of hydro. And hydro at rapacious rates is simply not acceptable. And this sort of a banded solutions, which are ultimately going to make the wound gangrene, full of pus, causing an amputation, is not a solution. It's high time that Kathleen Wynne and her coterie wakes up to the situation. Stop selling it to the USA, not selling it, giving it with money. What a great situation it is. I really laugh at it. But I weep for my people. I weep for the people of this province, that they are being cheated out of their incomes by unimaginative, staid, selfish politicians who cannot think beyond their nose. When shall we have a leadership that leads and inspires, that looks after us rather than tries to cheat us? Cheat us every time, every second. Is it hoping for too much? Think about it. Have a nice day. Bye.